see how Lynn was doing, and then I got involved into this. But if you don't know anything about me, which prior to last year, it was last year. No, back in 2015, I worked on Call of Duty Black Ops 3, providing like motion capture animation for them. And after that, last year, I ended up getting a job at Clown Premium Games. Which, does anybody know who Clown Premium Games is?
You know that one.
Okay, what if I said the game was called they're working on a game called Star Citizen. Yeah, so yeah, I'm working on Star Citizen and Squadron 42, which I'm pretty sure, if you haven't heard of it, is a big, massive endeavor. A lot of very amazing stuff, a lot of hard work going into it. Every day, I don't know, it's the only video game that I've worked on within the industry to where it's just there is more depth or just more tech in any other video game that has been seen. So we're still trying to get to that point where we can release it, but there's a lot of work on it. But for that, I am a associate technical animator on there, where I provide I deal with a lot of the motion capture data. I deal with a lot of various technical animation as far as scripting as well. I deal with rigging as well too. Just anything around technical animation. There's a good portion of there's a lot of stuff on there. I don't know. It's hard to. I'm trying to think about what I've done. All I can think of is I did one model by doing texture rig. I did this one animation by doing this. I wrote a script of doing this. Just a lot of stuff on there. So, and just I don't know. Say there's just a lot of work that's been done onto that game. I can't even think. But yeah. So yeah. So I'm just stop by and see Lynn as well, and I'll see how you guys are doing. Yeah. Sorry.
It's always exciting to get an alum in here that's been working in AAA and some of the feature films that are coming up also. You mentioned a couple of, I don't know if you can talk about any of them.
Okay. No, those are little NDAs.
So he'll have to swing around again next year when he can talk about the cool things that are coming up for him in the industry. Yeah, all right, so if you think motion capture can't get you anywhere, just talk to Eric Link. So, all right, thanks for joining us today.
I'll be back after the class is over.
Okay, give me a hand. Thank you. All right, leads. Please note the list here so that I don't need to call you out. Be ready to rock and roll and jump on it as soon as your number is up. Who are we starting with? Anybody read it? It's in the dark.
Yeah, we can't see it. Oh, it's this one here.
It's the Casa Clicker. Okay. Come on up. So, Ben, you want to stand behind the podium and tell our online people what's up?
What's up, online people? So what, we're at milestone 3 here now, so we're going to see where you guys are at.
Yeah.
And we want to, 4, yeah, you're right, dang.
Oh, so
so
what's
fast.
going on with you this
You
morning?
guys know better than I do. Huh?
Share a little bit about what's going on for you this morning?
In what sense? What we're doing today?
Your meetings?
Oh, yeah, so I just actually had another meeting with the guys from that's why I'm a little late, with the documentary that we're doing. So things are on par there, they're moving forward. I should have a new trailer this week. So once I have that, I should actually have a almost completed version of the documentary. So if you guys know Terrence Miller, he's been adding some artwork and animations and stuff for us for the documentary, so that's going along really well. Yeah, I mean, aside from that, we've got, how do I say, music that's being composed now just for us for that. We've got artwork that's being done for promotional purposes and things like this, so it's actually really coming together well. So once that gets closer, I'll keep showing you guys more stuff. Last week we did a thing. You guys remember the game jam that we had last time and the winning team whiskered away? That when we took the GDC and stuff, we filmed a thing with Evil controllers. They came in because they made. Did you guys see those controllers that they made? They made like custom controllers for the game. So we filmed that, and actually Killian did like a little video trailer for me for that now. And then he's gonna do like a longer segment that we can put on social media and push forward for the Evil controllers guys. So if you guys are interested in knowing more about Evil controllers or want to see what they're doing or whatever, let me know. That's all moving forward really well. And then Yeah, and then I got a guy coming. I'll probably have to leave here around 11. Yeah, I've got a guy coming who wants to do like an investor roundtable, and he wants to do it at ASU or Galvanize. And I was like, well, do it here. It's free. We can host it here. So we'll see if he likes the space or not. I'll be kind of touring him around. Probably pop in here even while you guys are doing your presentations. Ideally, if he has time, I'd like him to sit and watch your presentations. So that would be the most ideal if he's got the time, because he invests. He knows a lot of other investors. In fact, he just invested or bought an esports team here locally. So he also understands the game side of stuff, and music and things like that as well. So that'll be happening today too. So anyways, that's the news. But I look really forward to seeing what you guys have today, because it's fourth, but it's second to last one, that I know. So the last one will be, of course, the big one. So remember, when you guys get together today and do your kind of reviews and retrospectives, again, thinking about what you're going to do for the next couple of weeks until the very end. A lot of that probably just going to be polished, get your presentations together, make sure all the last pieces are in whatever you're working on at this point now, so that you can basically cauterize it nicely at the end of the term, even if you are going to go on for next term, and especially if you're not going to go on for next term. Who's going to repitch already? You guys know? We have some. Okay, so there are a couple. Cool. I think how many did you already say how many we have?
We have 7 so far, and we're early.
Okay.
So could be as much as 15 this time.
Okay, cool. So yeah, if you know anybody else who's interested in pitching for the next green light, of course, send them to Lynn. That'll be the 28th, the end of the term, the last Friday that we do that. Looking forward to seeing what we have then. But I'm really, like I said, I'm really excited about this term and what we've got going on. So summertime then is usually fewer students coming in, but it gives you that time to kind of really knock things out before the fall term comes around. And what we're thinking of doing is doing a bigger event, and this, again, it's totally preliminary, but do a bigger event at the end of the summer term to showcase the games that have been worked on, and try to do something in conjunction with like the career fair or with some other groups, so that and SIP maybe even too, so that there's a lot more kind of a deal going on, and that we can get more people to come by and see what you guys are working on. 3 times a year, as we've been doing it now, is hard to get people here in good numbers, especially at the end of fall. During December, it's hard because most people are gone by then. Now it's also a bit difficult because people are kind of, I don't know, it's a weird time right now. But we've always had the best chances of getting people in at the start or at the end of the summer term, because around that time, people seem to kind of like wake up again and go, oh, summer's done, we're going to start getting into the fall and new terms and new things going on, new business cycles and stuff like that. So that seems to be a better time anyway. So FYI. But yeah, let's see what you guys got. So who's the first? Console Clicker? Awesome. Thanks, Ivan.
Hey everyone, I'm Ivan Grijalva, team lead and product owner of Console Clicker. Oh. Yay. Alright, so what did our designers do? They worked a lot more on dialogue, refining it, and you'll see an example in the actual game, well, the build that we have. And they're also working on the building upgrades for right now for our vertical slice of the tier 1, and they've also been working on the tier 2 that will eventually come. Our artists have been doing some pretty great stuff. See in the bottom right, Brendan actually worked on some really awesome animations that we finally are able to put in the game, and once we get everything set down, we're going to have little people populate the world. We also have another set of buildings that we're going to be able to bring into and import into Unity that are going to be done by both Brenda and Vaughn. So it's really some really cool looking stuff that's coming into it soon. And for us programmers, Cody, one of our online students, has been working really hard and done some awesome work. We've been doing some more cleanup on the code. We've been piecing everything together. And from here on out, for us programmers, it's just dialing into the code and just making it more optimized and making some pretty great stuff. Now to show you guys what we've been working for. And now this time we have just one build with working buttons. All right, so I'm just gonna give a rundown of the branching narrative and how it sort of works within one specific building. So let's go with the market. Stop movie. Here we go. Ooh. It does not like this resolution. Sorry, I set it up for a 1080p, just standard. But and here's a little bit of dialogue that our designer has been working with, and some really good stuff that I really enjoy. So basically here, Joe Plow is giving you his thanks for you helping out with his small business and really helping him, you know, just thrive in a rather cutthroat world. So what happens once we upgrade the market into a black market? Will that change anything? Will anyone new pop up? Yeah, we got Slim Jones. Basically, he's an unsavory type that, let's just say he wouldn't mind teaching a few people some lessons for a couple bucks. Hopefully you guys can read that. Alright, so how about if we upgrade this into the farmer's market? Will someone new come out? Yep, we got Anton. He's a nice little hippie guy, if you can tell by his nice suit and his tie. So I wonder what happens if we upgrade more into the black market. Oh, seems like Joe Plow is not happy that we're going on to more of a black market route instead of helping out his standard farm or helping out the more farmer's market or fish market. So let's see if we keep going into the black market. Oh, Slim Jones finally got an R approval, and it seems like he's gonna make Joe Plow's life not great. That's pretty much the sort of thing that we want to go for. The more that you go into one field, it will change the branching narrative, where one individual will start being favored by you, and things can go pretty downside for another NPC. Alright, thank you for your time.
Alright, hello everyone, I'm Kyle Tomet, lead for Food Meister. Okay, what was added this time was profiles. So in a minute I'm going to show a brief demo, just kind of how the profiles work. Basically, you can just have up to 4 profiles. You can add, delete. We can't currently update because I'm still working on how to write that for the server scripts, but that will be done probably by the end of the semester. So right now that was the last major feature, so there's nothing more going to be added in terms of like functionality. It's all just going to be just cleaning up what we have now, just getting it ready for the proof of concept that we're going to deliver to them at the end of the semester. And I worked on the map a little bit, improved the search accuracy, so it's more accurate to where you are, because before it was kind of just in a vicinity of you, but I changed the provider that it was searching with to a more accurate provider, so it was better getting your location and finding you a restaurant around you.
still working on the filtering feature because I don't know how to write that efficiently yet. It's kind of bogs down when it's searching through, you know, hundreds of results based upon your profile. So I just have to write down how that's gonna all function in the end. So here's the iOS demo for the profile. So it just kind of shows you, you got your account, you know, the profiles down here. It shows you the allergies that you currently have checked for yourself, and allows you to add. Click the plus button, it allows you to add one. You can put in your information and stuff. So, yeah, right now they are the same because they're still working out how to display it. Behind the scenes, they're different. It's the way that this works. It's a dynamic table cell, so it loads it in, like, you just put this information, so you just have to figure out how to change pictures in there. So that's, but behind the scenes, it's all still different. So you can delete it. We have the Android.
Hi, this is the Sprint 4.
We'll just take that off. Yeah, so next, like I said, it's just polishing, bug fixing, finishing touches. And if any time permits, I'll kind of work on the website a little bit to finish it and get it ready as well. The website's pretty much done. It just needs a little bit of UI finishing, kind of putting in the validation stuff for that. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this print.
Close this tab. Okay, I'm Donald Cheppis. I'm the team lead for Calculord. We're at a kind of weird position as far as the class in our client is concerned because our deliverables aren't overlapping. So for us, the end of our working milestone is actually next week when we have our end deliverable. So we're kind of in this weird phase where we're getting some stuff in, but we're being very cautious as we're merging all our different functionality in. So I've got a short video today because when I was making the build, we're having some trouble getting the server to tell the application to go to the right screen. Again, we're working on everything for next week, so it's kind of a little weird and offset. We do have 3 major systems we've been working on for the course of the semester implemented now. So when you first come in, you'll see that we now have character creation, which was a big focus for us this semester. So now we've got the ability to generate the character name, store that. We've figured out how we're going to be able to swap textures for different skin tones, eye colors, swapping the models for hairs, which hairs are going to need a hair cap underneath it, grabbing and storing the color for the hair, and then also making sure that when you put items on, the hair cap will go on to the correct color and also associate with the correct helms. So that way, when you throw on a helmet, your, in this case, like your mohawk might disappear, But if you can see on the sides of the helm where your hair would be, we throw a hair cap on there so that way you know you have your hair. We also have item equipping now completely functioning, so you're able to go on, drag and all your armors onto your inventory slots and have them actually equip onto the character, and check with the server to make sure that that's an item you're supposed to have, to prevent anybody from being able to go in and duplicating items or getting ones that they haven't purchased either with in-game credits or store credits. And we also have, it's kind of hard to let me, I think I go back, yeah. And we also have the scene in which the avatar is going to be living built out. So when you go to things like the shop or go to customize the items within the scene, you now actually have something for your character to walk around in and ultimately be able to swap out models for different customization options that we'll be implementing in the future. And so that's what we have for this build, and the rest of it we're building towards next week when we're actually giving our final prototype deliverable to our clients. That way we can go ahead and start testing with kids, and then that leads into us speaking to investors and getting money to build the rest of the project. So that's what we've got, and we will have more in the future.
So I'm the project owner for Reign and Rebellion, and for this build, we're still showing off multiplayer, but we have a lot more in terms of level completion and in-game and out-of-game UI.
What do you think, Bartholomew?
It just took a while. It takes a while.
Okay.
There we go. So to show off first, we now have our team selection. So you can, at the very start, select what team you want to be on, and it shows how many players are on each team. So let's go with, Meganus. And then we have our class selection with their different class cards with pictures, descriptions of the class, their weapons, and their abilities. So let's go with Quera. And so we stepped up a lot on our textures and lighting and making our level look a lot more beautiful, as well as messing around with our different and new assets to make the level feel like a real place. We have some new classes in, like the Tinkerer, Verno. And we have our good old wizard shooting fireballs. And we have most of our abilities in for the, or we have all our abilities in for these first four these classes. You want to show them the rest of the level, Chase? Stop fighting. So yeah, we have our castle walls in, showing off kind of more the environment of where you are, as well as watchtower and barracks. I guess during this time. We also have our deathmatch parameters in, so there is a time limit and score limit for each team, and whoever hits it first or has the most at the end of the time wins, and then you're booted out of the game. And so this is the barracks right now. It is not textured, but that is in the process of being done and will be done. And yeah, we have our fire particles in as well as our torches lighting the room. And both the barracks and the watchtower are connected and all have multiple ways in and out or one way touching each other. And that's mostly what we have in our build for now.
I was gonna go.
Yeah, besides showing off what the actual watchtower looks like, that's what we do have in our build.
We had an issue. But yeah, other than the inside of the watchtower. Did you want to show off the other classes?
Sure. We can show off the other team. Look it over when you want, Chase. I'll let you decide. So here we have one of our melee characters who has a shield, and as it sounds, they don't have a ranged attack, or their main attack isn't ranged based. So run over to the watchtower.
I can't. Oh. Hey, how's it going? Oh. You can explain what those are.
So yeah, for our Tinkerer class, they have a medical device and electrical trap. Each class is its own combination of special features based around what their character is, whether they're a fighter, a close-up fighter, a ranged fighter, or not a fighter at all, really.
Here it is.
That's our build. So yeah, moving forward, we're going to keep polishing up the level, fixing problems, and making it look great and having it be a fun game.
Hello, I'm Roger Shulligan. I am team lead for Morpheus. This is Todd Dickinson next to me. He is my lead programmer. And today we're going to show you some pretty cool mechanics we've implemented, as well as art and design. So on this slide you can see one of our artists has been hard at work on our cockatrice. She just started working on this a couple weeks ago. Next slide. We have some concepts, and there is a nice 3D view of the model. This is in the build, so we have incorporated it. She is in the process of animating it. One of our online programmers, he's been working on our lily pads. We are using this for a puzzle. You can see that the slime and mice do not sync it, but the player and the other creatures will. An online artist of ours is working on forest concepts. She's having quite a bit of fun. She's painting them, sketching them. She has some more, but she says they're not ready yet, so I can't wait to see what she has in store for us. We also have geyser mechanics. You can see right here that when you go into it, it pushes you all the way up, and then you kind of levitate at the top. We're going to be putting platforms on top of these, and we're going to be incorporating them into a geyser puzzle. You can use the cockatrice to stone the platforms, make them heavier, cause different pressure. We're going to have a lot of fun with that in the upcoming week. We also have a bounce mechanic that we plan on using for our swamp. You can see we have a mushroom on the other side of the screen. We're going to be applying that to that mushroom, and you'll be able to hop across the swamp. Here is a complete little demo of that and process to show how it works. We also worked on pulleys and claws. We're going to be incorporating this into our temple that we are placing in the desert. As you can see, go back. As you can see, we have a fairly complex series of pulleys there, and the hook will go from point 1 all the way to point 8 or 6. And we have a video demonstration of that. Thanks, Todd.
It was playing in the background.
And this is Todd's work. Our skeleton's a bit foobarred right now. We're still working on him. But we'll do that for the final stages. So the skeleton shoots this button, it activates the claw, which will go down, pick up the object, and then the levers control the directions. So you can see that one will make it go to the left, and the other ones will make them go the other directions, all the way to the end. All right. Next slide. So yeah, our claw looked kind of funny floating there, but we have been working on our chains, which we are going to be using for our elevators as well as the claw. As you can see here, it's dangling from the roof. If you hit it, it kind of jingles. So we're going to be using that so that it looks more realistic. Here is some progress on our desert temple. We really want to create some eye-catching landmarks, so we attract the player towards these locations. So you can see we have this obelisk of sort on the left, the pyramids. Those rotate and kind of wobble. Looks really nice. On the right, you can see we have an interior of one of our puzzles we're going to be showing off in the build. Yeah, we'll show that. Here is kind of an outside picture of the entrance of the temple, as well as the tower in the background. In that room, we are playing around with Magball. His power is to pick up metal objects and manipulate them. So right here, you can see we have this metal ball that will be used to unlock this door. One of our designers, John, he's been hard at work set designing our world. He's trying to get a feel for what we want this game to look like, and here's kind of a sneak peek at what we want to do. Harlan, he was team lead for Oddity. He's been helping me out with one of our forms. This is Metalmite. He is the electric bug. He will be able to manipulate electricity. We do have some stuff we're going to be showing off for him in the final weeks. I didn't include it in this build, but we do have some really cool electrical effects. Bryce, he's been working on our skeleton. He's missing the hands and arms and feet, but I don't know, I kind of like him. We're going to be hooking this up to our rig that you saw that was kind of foobarred, and hopefully get that all straightened out in the final weeks. And now we're going to show off our build. So you guys saw this one last week. This is the same place that John set designed. We did complete this area and polished the platforming. We have no jitter. Before we had quite a bit of jitter and some bad problems with it. The mouse still activates the flowers. We're going to replace those with more like power-looking flowers instead of natural, because it just doesn't make sense. We're still working on making sure those things work. Jump off real quick and kill yourself. Okay, so you can see we have checkpoints. I want you to show them that down there. So there is a, if you can make it, there is an optional way through this area that we're working on. We're kind of showing that you don't have to go down one path. The water will kill you at a certain height, so you can see he escaped death. And so we're playing with this mechanic of timing your platforming, and hopefully you don't get stuck. This currently doesn't lead anywhere, but we are working on getting that all connected. So we're going to play through the rest of the level if Todd is good.
And
So this area, we're showing off darkness because the upcoming area is completely pitch black. So this area is kind of teaching you to use the mouse to light the path. Once you get into that dark hallway, you're not going to be able to see a thing unless you utilize the wolf and the mouse. Oh my goodness, Todd. Use the slime. There you go. So we introduce another pylon here. Oh yeah, the clipping. Zero. There's some of John's work. We're going to have an artist replace that with alphas because there's a lot of polys there, but it looks really cool. This one's kind of out of reach, so you have to kind of travel a bit of a distance to get to it. So this was, we built this area to kind of strain our platforming. We wanted to make sure it felt good. Obviously we need some animation still, but we're going to be polishing that up in the final weeks. Like, we really need a jumping and falling animation because that just doesn't look right. You can see that that lit up that entire vine right there, and the pylon is activated, which has turned that platform on right there. So now he can continue forward. Another thing we were able to add is falling platforms. So once he gets over here, you'll see that we have that implemented. We still need to tweak some of the speeds and values so that it's more difficult, because right now you kind of just run across it, but it looks cool. There is a safe path that you can take. If you run across this, you will see that some of them do not fall. And that's it for this area. Cool. So in the presentation, you saw that we were working on this this pulley area. So Todd's going to push this ball onto that target. And this whole area is just white boxed right now. We have people working on textures and getting it looking nice. That's not going to get up there, is it? Oh, there you go. Yeah, use mag ball.
maybe I can get it on there.
I thought you practiced, Todd.
I did practice. It was easy out in the commons.
Todd doesn't game anymore. He's too busy coding all the time. So I don't think we're going to be able to show this off, Todd.
No, it just has to be next to it.
Okay.
That's close enough.
So currently Todd has the grab distance set to high, so this will still work. The cockatrice can turn organic things to stone and also break the stone off. So right there you saw that he turned that wood to a heavier weight and brought it down.
Oh, that might not be close enough.
This will not look natural, but it should grab it. There you go. So that lever will make all the pulleys in the room go down. There are 3 other levers which control the other 2 directions, or other 3 directions, what am I saying? And so the player will mess with these levers, discover how this room works, and then use that to get the ball to the other side. So we're playing with spatial reasoning as well as using the forms to kind of manipulate this ball. And you can see it's bringing it over. It's kind of a big room. We may have to play test it and see what people think. We may have to shorten it. But that's all final weeks. The slime is also small enough to fit through those holes. But yeah, that shows off this area. So he's going to drop it down, and then he's going to keep doing that until he gets it to the other side. Next area. So we were working on our desert, kind of just playing with concepts. This is not complete. This is very basic. But we want to start experimenting with environmental effects. So you can see we have this sandstorm here. And on the other side is this giant turbine that is causing this uproar. We're going to use the cockatrice to solve this very basic puzzle to block this volcano-looking thing. There is a reason for all this, but right now it's going to make no sense. And you can see the sandstorm went away. And in the distance you can see an oasis and of course our Tower of Madness. So yeah, that's our build. Thank you.
Exciting progress. Everybody give yourselves a round of applause. It's fantastic progress. Just to recap, we want to thank alumnus Eric Link for coming through and telling us about some of the projects that he's been working on, is working on, Call of Duty, Star Citizen, and for next time. Also, it was thrilling to talk to Doug and Daryl. Are you still here? You over there? Okay. Come on down. I didn't ask you about this, but I was so thrilled about what you were talking about with your team and all. I'd just like you to share some of your enthusiasm and a little bit about what you're recognizing that the students have here.
So when I first started this whole idea, Hugh came to us and said, hey, we do this thing at UAT you guys might be interested in. And I said, yeah, that sounds really cool. And in the back of my head, I'm like, we've had guys from like Collins and a couple other schools, and I'm like, how good are they going to be? I mean, really, that's the first question you have to ask yourself, right? So me and Daryl have been floored. I mean, seriously, to take what those guys have done, that's a prototype. Like, that's not a polished game, and to hold them back from trying to make a polished game has been really difficult. I constantly talk to Bart, and I'm telling him, because he's kind of the driver of the group, and I'm like, it's just a prototype. It's okay if it looks weird. It's okay. Like, it doesn't have to be fully textured. So the drive to be going forward is very important. And it's funny because I'm looking at this Morpheus thing, and I'm like, this is the second round for you guys? First? That's impressive as well. I mean, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. You know, you guys, the drive that you guys have here is kind of a big deal. And that's what's going to take you into many other areas. I worked at Electronic Arts for 11 years. It's 20 years in the game industry, and I can tell you I've only seen a handful of people that have the drive that I see it when I come here. I wish desperately that this was around when I was in the game industry still. My son turned 18 last week, and the first thing he says is, hey, Dad, I'm going to go apply for UAT online. And I'm like, fantastic. Like, now there's another thing I have to figure out how to pay for. So, but, I mean, that's a good thing. You guys are going in the right direction. Just don't lose that passion, because that's what's going to carry you on leaps and bounds. So, but we've been very, very happy with what these guys have done. They're hilarious to work with. They're all kind of a bunch of clowns, and that's what really makes it work. So, yeah, it's good. It's real good. They kind of make me proud, so I'm very happy. And I actually asked Lynn today, I said, you know, look, even after all this is said and done, like, I'll be here as long as I can, as long as you guys will allow me to mentor, ask questions, do whatever. The Calculor thing, I work for an online education company. You want to present to somebody, I might know somebody there. You know, so we were talking about Steam. I got a guy that works at Steam that I know. One of the first guys, Hugh knows him as well, Rod Nakamoto. He was the guy that designed the audio chip for Sega Genesis. He lives in Chandler. So we're very knowledgeable about that guy. There's a game company called Industry Games in Gilbert down the street from my house that I just found out about. So I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. So there's all those opportunities and the whole networking bit. You guys need to take advantage of that. So Lynn has my information if you want to contact me for anything and I can help out. I'd be more than happy.
I'm thrilled to hear about that. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very excited that you want to continue on with us and be a part of what we're doing. Give me a hand. Thank you so much. All right. I'm not going to keep you. You guys have to wrap this up. So leads come prepared. This is sprint planning day. You got one more sprint. It's a short one because green light is the 15th. And we're working up a playtesting event for you week 14. So you can get some last minute feedback. We'll try to do that week 13, but Leeds will talk to you and see where you are with that in the Leeds meeting. Come prepared to tell me what your top priorities are. I should hear about bug fixing and polishing at this point. No new functionality. Unless it's something that you promised us and you want to go green light again, now's crunch time for you then. So, all right. Any remaining questions, come see me afterward. We'll release everybody. Go make games. How long are you going to be here for? Visiting your folks? Hey there.
Yep. Basically just kind of stopped by, see what you're doing, how we're doing. And then I just saw Ben Reinhardt just took off.
Yeah, he's got a special guest here today. He's the guy who's trying to wrangle for the venture capitalist event. So. Yeah, so we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, I'll probably see you next time for like Phoenix. But the other thing I was also I got my own facial capture software.
You got it.
Whenever I post a reply and I want to
You had face shift before?
Yep.
Was it? Okay, and this is FaceWorks?
Faceware.
Okay.
FaceWare.
Oh, so
okay.
you have to have the image
Love
on,
that.
like you have the image.
Yeah, how many markers do you have there?
Well, you don't need to have markers. It takes video.
I
usually
I'll pull
so
it down
silly.
and
Is it a phone system I'm looking at?
I'll show it for like one of my friends. Lauren,
You
good
replied
actress.
was it
Basically, you take the full video and then you take the tracking
if we
of
go
Oh, I
into
see.
if Obama goes into
and
Syria,
takes
it's
that
because he was
full video
desperate,
feature
right? And I
and
looked
you
and I'm like,
convert it. I
it's
only
not
did like
the
the
link
lips.
with the preview of the
No, it looks awkward because
it's
she's
just the image.
moving her head.
She's got her head moving. Yeah, but it's interesting how it's still pretty accurate detecting the features and ignoring the
It's
head.
got the link and the link. Every time I find an awesome meme, it's a link. It's like
Done.
7
I'm just
miles.
creating my own like head cam.
And so there's like 7 miles of text with the picture underneath.
So I'm just like it's pretty cool because how it works is as long as you have like your FaceWare doesn't need to be amazing. As long as you have like some type of rig. What FaceWare does is like depending you have like analyzer or targeter. Analyzer is the tracking software.
Yeah.
Retargeter is
That's the downside is it's pricey.
just the plugin that works into Maya or Motion Builder. So you can just kind of work with either one of those. But what Retargeter does, it basically just goes like, okay, what's controlling the eyes? And you select what's controlling the eyes. Okay, what's controlling the brows? And you select what's controlling the brows. It's like
Yeah,
controlling the mouth. What's controlling the mouth.
It's a
what's controlling the
universal
cheeks,
thing.
and you select those
Like,
stuff. And
it's
then
not
from
like
there, basically what it does is it just kind of it just takes the data of your facial capture, and then it goes like, alright, since I know how the video works for the tracking, and I know what's driving what, I need to know what the model's gonna look like at a specific pose. So I know the extreme poses that you're going like,
Or you're doing history
how
class, you're like, oh, we can talk about Vietnam.
how
Okay, make it
constrained your
vague
rig is,
based
you
on what
can
you
adjust it
learned
to
in
that,
history class.
and then the whole auto
Instead
pose,
of saying, oh, you
your
have to
target
write
button,
an essay, you have to
done.
do something.
Like that thing I just like that, like what you saw was only like 30 minutes from my amount of work.
And when we allow, Walking Dead literature, that's
Is it really urgent, or can you get on my list?
What do you want me to come out there and show you something?
I mean, it's not about school stuff. It's about personal stuff.
Okay.
So
oh, you're upstairs.
Okay.
it may affect me physically being here
Today?
today.
Oh, all right. Hang in there just for a second.
I'll see you later.
Give me just a couple minutes.
Mulhern remembers you.
Mulhern, remember? Which Mulhern?
John.
John.
God.
John's awesome.
You guys had Nemo before it was Nemo.
Before it was Nemo, right? Hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. It's good to see alumni that have that experience and everything.
Oh, just keeping at it. Just that's fun.
Yeah, it's funny. Star Citizen, that's awesome. That's one of those that, like, it's funny because that's one of those games that if you're in the circle, you're super passionate about it. If you're outside the circle, a lot of people just don't know much about it, right? Like the kids may not know it. Just because they're outside that circle. Right. Word gets the word. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then being inside and seeing it live with everybody.
guys see a little serious talk going on.
He's a reservist.
What?
He's a reservist. Let me shut this down.